Well, I think this sends a very clear signal that both sides, China and America, want to normalize its relations. I'm very glad to see everything is back on the right track, if not the right track, but at least the normal track. I think China and America used to be one of the largest partner with each other. And this relation is vitally important to not only both China and the U.S. citizens, but also to the rest of the world. I think both sides have a very clear understanding of that. And they reiterated this point in their dialogues. And according to that foundation, and both sides agreed, we still have very important common enemies ahead of us. For example, like the pandemics and climate change and a wider income gap. These are more larger issues, more than both China and America, but also it's important for the rest of the world. So I think right now it's time not to fight against each other, but work with each other. So unless we can conquer those important issues, no one will have a successful future. But only with working with each other we can be both successful.
Ties were looking pretty tense for a while until Presidents Biden and Xi spoke by phone recently. So since then, it seems like there's been some more diplomatic movement. Where do you think things are going in the days and weeks ahead?
Well, I think according to both sides of the manifesto, it's very clear that both leadership in China and America want to normalize the situation because they already set a fixed agenda for the top leaders to meet with each other. And right now, I think in America, Biden administration is facing more of the difficulties domestically rather than internationally. So for the GOP, I think their most important target should be, to stabilize the home situation. There are many problems, as we can see, happen in the Congress, also in a society. So I don't think, if I'm Joe Biden, I don't think just to have more difficulty outside of the home is a wise choice. So I think to have more partners and normalize the situation internationally is a better choice right now for the GOP. Well, so we're going to thinking more stabilize the situation between China and America in the future.
Yeah, on the economic front, we heard from Catherine Tai, the U.S. trade representative, on Monday. She said that China is not complying with the Phase 1 trade deal and tariffs will remain in place for now. How is that affecting relations? Is that still a sticking point?
Well, I don't think that's a sticking point. As we mentioned earlier many times, first of all, the tariff is a bad idea, especially when the pandemic is hovering here. So it's basically a seller's market since many of the manufacturers are still suspending. So with 20% of the tariff, actually I can give you the number, 19% of the tariff are actually being shared by the U.S. consumers rather than the Chinese manufacturers. So I think it's a loss for the U.S. market. But of course, we should also understand politics. The GOP has actually been taken over this foundation from the Republicans. So they have no position just to give it up immediately out of the political situation. They still have to, succeed all this. But still, they have to change a little bit gradually. Otherwise, I think the burden will fall on American people. It's not a good idea. So in the future, we're going to see things can be turned little by little. It's gradual, but still, it's going to be changing towards the right direction.
All right, Qiang.